So now we'll see how to install the InfluxDB in DigitalOcean Droplet. So first we'll open the DigitalOcean. So now we'll click on the create button. So we'll click on the droplets, and now we'll wait for the droplet to be get created. So now we'll choose the Ubuntu as the OS and the basic plan. So we'll choose the $5 plan as a basic one, and we'll choose the data center as Bangalore. And now we'll set a password for our as an authentication, like we'll choose password. So now we'll type the password for this droplet, and let me type the password. Okay, once the password has been set, we can create this droplet. So we'll wait for a couple of minutes to get this droplet being created. So once this droplet is get created, we'll try to install the InfluxDB. So inside this droplet using SSH from our local machine. So for that, we'll wait until this droplet is getting created out. So now the droplet has been created. So we'll copy this public IP address, and then we'll go to our terminal. So we'll connect to this droplet using SSH. So we'll type SSH and this root hat and the password, I mean the IP. So now it will be asking for the password. So we'll give the password now. So once we give the password and enter, it will connect to this droplet. That's a virtual machine instance. So now the droplet has been connected from our local machine using SSH. So now what we'll do is like we'll connect to, we'll install the InfluxDB. So we'll go to the InfluxDB downloads, and then we'll copy the download links for the Ubuntu machine. So we'll choose the InfluxDB. So we'll copy those snippets which we'll get in download the InfluxDB. Now we'll unpack the package. So now the package is done. So now we can test whether the InfluxDB is working or not. So we'll do the command influxd. So now if you see here the InfluxDB is working on. So now what we'll do is like we'll open this InfluxDB dashboard in our browser. So we'll copy the IP address one more time, and then we'll go to our browser and give the port number. So we'll check for the port number, so whether it will be 8888 or 8086. So we'll just confirm it from the documentation. So we'll give it another try. It doesn't work, so we'll look at the documentation, like so what is the default port number for InfluxDB. Okay, the default port is 8086. So what we'll do is like we'll try it one more time. So we'll give the port number as 8086. Okay, now it's been getting connected. So now we'll wait for the InfluxDB dashboard. So it will ask for an authentication. So we'll provide the authentication details and all the other stuff once the page gets loaded. So now we'll get started, and we'll provide a username and the password. So this will be act as a root, admin. So we can create the members if needed. So we'll give the password. So we can provide the same password which you have created while creating the droplet. So there won't be any confusion, like and giving the password here. So now we'll give the organization name. So you can give a name whatever you feel. So now I'm giving like a tech stack. So I'll change this one to be a custom one. So I don't want to get confused with the tech one. So now we'll provide a bucket name. So where this data will be get stored. So now we'll create. Then we'll give the advanced option for collecting the data. So now the bucket has been created and we can see the list of buckets being available. So, and the sources. So if we want to connect some input plugins or output plugin, we can connect it. We can choose that one and we can update the configuration file. So now what we'll do is like we'll create a Telegraph configuration file so which we can run it from our local machine. So for now we'll be choosing a system configuration which will collect the CPU metrics and the system usage. So we'll give the configuration file name and we can provide a description as well. So now we'll create this plugin, a Telegraph configuration file. So now we can copy that token which we have received while creating this configuration file. So we can keep it aside and we'll use it once we download this configuration file. So now we'll go to the Telegraph configuration file and download this configuration. So it is downloaded. So now we'll go to our local machine terminal. So before that, if you see here, there is no data being available for this bucket. So we'll change the times as well. Still there is no data being available since we are not yet connected. So now we'll go to our terminal, open another terminal, and then we'll give the command like telegraph config, and we'll provide the path of the telegraph configuration file which has been downloaded. It will be in the downloads folder. So first we'll give the telegraph config and we'll give the path. So before connecting it, first we'll update the token in the configuration file, so which we have received while creating the configuration file. So we'll just scroll down and if you see here there is an option called token, influx token. Instead of influx token, we'll add the token directly here. So now we'll add the token and we'll save this file. Now we'll run this configuration file from our local machine. So the matrix is being getting passed out. So now we'll go back to the InfluxDB. So now we'll see what are the list of measurements or the tables been coming on. So we'll refresh it one more first time. So here, if you see here, we can see the disk and CPU, memory usage, all those things, and we can see the data is coming on. So first we'll change it to the interval as 5 seconds. So every 5 seconds the data will be fetched out for the first 5 minutes. So now if you see the data is being coming on. So we can customize the date and all those things over here, like if you want to change the graph to a single stat or a graph with this value. So we can do those things. We can do this kind of a customization. So we'll keep it the default one. Now we'll go and see the dashboard. So the InfluxDB already created the dashboard with the list of data being available. So they are already having a template which will be connected automatically. So now if you see here the list of the system metrics being displayed in the dashboard. So you can see the list of metrics being shown, like the total memory, CPU usage, and the system uptime, all those stuffs. Yeah, that's it with this video, and I hope you enjoyed with how to connect with DigitalOcean things. Thank you, and see you in the new video.